Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 19 Shotgun Thoughts Podcast. Today, going into integrity, and everything has a dual nature. There are poles and its opposites, identical in nature, but different in degree. Are hot and cold really opposites? Or more simply just presence of heat or lack thereof. They're identical in nature, but different in degree. Knowledge and ignorance are the same because truth is always present. Whether it's observed or ignored is the difference. There's a mind state representative of each of the planes of progress. Mechanically and physically, we have to engage, enforce, and embolden. Through our grit made manifest, we can conquer obstacles that would or should overtake us. Now, when I was getting into work, I really had no idea what I wanted to do in life. And I was good at a lot of things, and I was mainly obsessed with science and really analytical approaches to life. And I found myself just getting so wrapped up in my head about everything that I thought I should be doing that I really didn't do anything. And I told myself I would graduate high school and then I'd take a year off. So I took that year off, but it didn't really do much for myself. I got a good amount of time to spend with myself and really learn a lot about myself. And in that process, when you spend a lot of time with yourself, just like anybody else, you start to really annoy the shit out of yourself. Because there's things about you that you want to change, you know? And sometimes you can be very obsessed with stuff that you don't want to be. And you can always try to appease yourself and say yes to things that would make it easier in your life. Like, falling into a line of work or a cultural persuasion. Because there's a lot of things culturally now that might grab us. And you have to be very careful of that because, spending a good amount of time with yourself is important. I think it's the reason why so many people are just searching for something that they think they're missing. But to be honest, spend a good amount of time with yourself because you're going to start to piss yourself off, but at the same time, you're going to start to love yourself because there's things about you that nobody else can understand. And if you don't show that to other people, to the world in any way, then nobody's ever going to know those things about you. And that's something that there's so many people. I was like this, thankfully not for too long, but I was like this where you think that the world revolves around you. You go through life and you're very self-absorbed, thinking that people owe you attention. You're the type of person that you go to a dance and you're sitting on the wall thinking how people don't realize the beauty in you and nobody's talking to you. Nobody's demanding your presence or your attention. Maybe you're one of those people, you attract enough, people might come to you. But in a lot of ways, I was that person as well. Not at the dance. Obviously, as you can see, I'm not the most attractive person. And I was also fat when I was younger, so that didn't help. But what I was very confident, and not at the dance, but in public settings. I exuded mystery and confidence, and in a lot of ways, people were magnetized by me. And I took advantage of that, or I didn't realize the gift that that was, and I took it for granted. I was the type of person where, I was just doing my own thing, and people were interested by that. Now, I don't think I'm atrocious looking, nor should anybody. No matter what you have as a person, you are beautiful, because what you have is what you have to give this world. And what you have to give is not always what is on the surface. There are things that you can build about yourself that will be so beautiful to so many people. And it will not just be the outside of you. Now, anybody who is not willing to give you a chance because of your appearance is nobody that you should be concerning yourself with in the first place. I can promise you that. As one good person to another, don't fucking worry about these people. That's the good thing in a way. Realize that life is giving you something great. It's making something very easy for you. And in life, not much is very easy. I'll tell you that right now. You gotta earn these things. And sometimes just having somebody say no to you, or you to get a clear sign that this is not the right thing, that's good. That's good. Especially if you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for friends, you're looking for anything worthwhile, especially a job. You know, that's something that in today's world, everybody's looking to just like, you want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. But to be honest, I was so preoccupied with my own values that I kind of just tossed those things to the wayside. Maybe it's because I have a safety net. I'm living in America and I have half a brain. So there's pretty much no way that you're ending up on the bottom. And when you end up on the bottom in this country, in America, you're pretty much at the top of the pile anywhere else. The homeless people, the people living out on the streets, it's unfortunate. There's things that happen. It's not the best place, the best way to live, best place to be. But these people are doing really well. I know that for certain because I used to be I still am. But when I was working, when I was out there, I was very virtuous and generous, and I used to give a lot to people when I could. I used to stop, I talked to them, and there was one time coming home from Madison Square Garden that there was a guy not wearing shoes. I offered this man my work shoes, and this dude literally told me, it was a day I was fortunate enough that I was going into work to change my shoes. I had bought a new pair of work shoes. I was bringing them in to change them. So I had my old pair of work shoes with me. But on the way to work, while I was going there, I had the shoes in my book bag. But anyway, I wanted to give this guy my new shoes. No. I was coming home from work. I'm sorry. Coming home from work, and this guy seriously told me when I was going to give him these shoes, he was like, they're not Nikes? That's some bullshit. And I was like, what the fuck? So, I'm telling you right now, yes, there are some people doing terrible. They could use a little bit of help. But a lot of these fucking people in general, whether they have or not, you just need to apply yourself. Because in this country, especially New York City, there is so much assistance that you can get from the government, from private charities, from everything. That everybody is looking to help in the West. And it's unfortunate because nobody anywhere else is really looking to help us. But we're not looking for a handout for the most part. But it's just one thing to keep in mind in this whole, worldly thing we got going on. So, when I was working, I kept to my values, man. I understand my worth as a person, and I'm not looking to start a minimum wage job expecting double the pay or anything like that. But what I do expect is my hard work and everything that I'm putting into this company that I'm giving my time for to provide a sense of the ability to work your way up. And a lot of the time when you get hired, you'll be promised one thing, but it's something totally different. And even if you're not promised that, they'll be very aspirational that, this is a great place to work. There's plenty to, you know, think about with spending your time here because, there's going to be all types of benefits and you'll get this and that. Sometimes none of that happens, especially in New York City, places where there's just a high population density. There's a huge turnover rate. So they're not worried about people who are overperforming. They're worried about maintaining, and that's about it. At the bottom line, yeah, a really good manager might be able to get himself some money at the end of the day when the budget is cleared and there's excess, but for the most part that's coming off like employees' salaries. Like they're keeping the bottom line going. And that means the turnover rate for new workers is super high, especially in the culinary industry. It's ridiculous. So it's extremely cutthroat in general with any type of business for the most part, especially if it's on, the cutting edge of society and that's where things are moving. Those businesses, they're going to have a lot of intake with people and there's going to be a high turnover rate. And let me just tell you that there's a reason for that. The same way as a relationship, when you got something going on with an employer that you're realizing people are leaving, and they're hiring new people, especially if you're a manager, that can be overwhelming where, you keep teaching these people, you're trying to train them, and it's just a new, they leave after a week, a month, a few months, and it's just taxing. And that's this has been going on in New York City for the longest time. Now the pandemic didn't help at all, especially in the food industry. It made things even more cutthroat. Like if there was an industry where the middle class disappeared, that was it. You pretty much have business owners, sous chefs, and then bottom line. So it's like maybe you want to say that the sous chef is like the middle class, but to be honest, they're either going to be getting an amazing salary and doing very well, more to the line of like an executive chef, which is kind of a bullshit role, only happens in New York City and in high density areas. But the other sous chefs are making like $3, $4, $5 more than your chef, and they're doing like four times the work. They're in there like before the fucking lights are on and everything like that. They're getting things organized. So it's there's this middle class disappearing from everything in society, but the culinary industry cutthroat, and I recently got diagnosed with my multiple sclerosis. And let me tell you, a lot of people don't understand this disease, this affliction. I don't even know what the fuck it is, but it's crazy. I have my own immune system is attacking my nervous system and it is destroying my brain and my spine. There are sclerosi all over my brain and my lower spine. I have like over 60 of these bad boys popping up all over me. Now, that's something that I've had to deal with in retrospect, and I still am. I'm like kind of dealing with this on a day-to-day process because at the end of the day, there's no cure for it. There's treatment, there's stuff I can do, but it doesn't do too much. It's kind of slowing it down, but that's about all I can do. And that's life, man. That's life. There's nothing I can do about dying one day. I can only slow that down. So, whether you have multiple sclerosis or not, what I want to tell you is that there's a better day tomorrow for what you can do today. What I like to tell My wife, sometimes that's the most applicable for me. I've been homebound for a while, but you know, help your future self. So do something today that'll help your future self. You're going to thank your future self. Make your bed, clean your room, organize your clothes. Write that list of things that you got to do, because tomorrow you're going to be like, "Wow, thank you. Thank you. I would have forgot that thing." Put the water bottle by the door when you gotta leave. Get your shoes ready. Put them where you get all your stuff. Put your clothes outside. You know, just do whatever you can for yourself today that's gonna make it easier for you tomorrow. And that's where some people get so overwhelmed. I want to be this, I want to be that, I want this, I want that, I want a mansion, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an astronaut, I want to fucking go to the moon, I want to stroke Bill Gates in the back room. Whatever you want to do, you need to plan one day at a time, because these people didn't get to where they were by, just like fucking going ape wild every day, living on impulse, partying, shit like that. Unless you're super lucky and you're like the fucking Ocean Spray guy, that even that dude, you know what I'm saying? He probably had some shit planned out. Probably was doing that for like 6 years trying to get that Ocean Spray sponsorship. So anyway, perseverance. There you go. You know what I'm saying? You need to have integrity. So if these jobs, things are not working out in your life, just think about what you're really looking for and stay focused on that. I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do and things are fucking tight. But I'm telling you, as a survivor, as a warrior, man, getting through life one day at a time, just trying to fucking fight all the pessimistic bullshit going on in everyday life, especially in the West, where people got it so well, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're lazy, you're entitled, this and that, and then you feel like there's an extra expectation on you because you're inherently, you have more, you feel that you should be obligated to do more. And first thing first, deal with yourself, love yourself, worry about every day making yourself the best that you can be. And sometimes that's just as simple as like making sure you fucking drank enough water, you stretched, you went to the bathroom when you needed to, and you weren't like doing something that you were preoccupied fucking playing World of Warcraft or Hearthstone or some shit. So, Baldur's Gate 3 is out, people fucking dying of dehydration and stuff. Like, relax yourselves. Just take it easy, smoke some fucking weed, do what you gotta do, relax, take it easy, one day at a time, everything's gonna be alright. But stick to your guns and have a logical basis for what you're sticking to, If you can't back that up in a bunch of different scenarios, then you probably got a problem. So, have integrity, stick to your shit, because I'm doing a lot better than I would have thought. I was a pessimist about my own shit, and I'm happy. Really, no matter what happens in my life, I'm probably going to say I'm doing better than I expected, because I'm my own harshest critic. Maybe we all should be. The world would probably be a lot better place once we got like the slightest decency from another person and be like, wow, this world is great. So, I love yous all. Take it easy. If you like this broadcast, please like, subscribe. I'm trying to get in touch as much as I can. Life's a bitch sometimes, you gotta smack her around, and try not to do that, obviously. It's our own and figment of our imagination, right? We'll do what we want with that bad boy. All right. Take care, everybody. I love yous all. Take care. Ah.